Well, there's a few problems with it, other than the fact that it violates the laws of physics. There is no 15-story section up there. It's destroyed itself in about 2 or 3 seconds. It has decomposed into nothing, and then after that what we see is the building tearing itself apart at free fall speed. We have asymmetrical damage from the airplane up above, but all the videos from down below show equal bands of explosions traveling down the building in about 10 seconds. It's very clearly sets of explosions that were heard by 118 firefighters that we finally learned about in August of 2005, who were recorded by their chief fire commissioner. They talk about flashes of light, sounds of explosions at the onset of both of these collapses in the towers. We have then, they talk about this debris being expelled out prior to the building coming down. And this debris is expelled at 70 to 100 miles per hour and lands 600 feet away from the tower's perimeter. Some of these 4 and 20-ton wall units. Well, that takes about the same energy as to fire a 200-pound cannonball 3 miles. So where's that energy coming from? Where's the energy coming from to pulverize 90,000 tons of concrete to a fine powder, much of which is smaller than the human hair? Where does the energy come from to produce tons of molten metal that's seen by the first responders and even the World Trade Center structural engineer Leslie Robertson himself, who said at a conference in October of 2001, as of 21 days after the attack, molten steel was still running. Well, it turns out not to be molten steel. It's a different product. It's molten iron. Where did tons of molten iron come from? You know, it doesn't have chromium in it. This is iron. Molten iron is the byproduct of thermite, a high-tech incendiary used to cut through steel like a hot knife through butter. So it turns out that the ends of the beams that are ejected out of these twin towers, FEMA finds that they're partially evaporated, that they have the evidence of intergranular melting, oxidation, sulfidation. This doesn't happen by fires. Normal office fires are 1,400 degrees maximum, and even jet fuel doesn't burn any hotter than that, like desks, chairs, carpeting, etc. So where does the temperature come to melt steel, which takes up to 2,700 degrees before it even begins to melt?
Richard Gage, we got to leave it. We've got to leave it right there. People can find out more about your Chicago and other appearances at your websites. Thank you so much for spending time with us, and thank you for the great job you're doing. And as soon as we have some pre-DVDs burned in the next few weeks, we don't even have them yet, we'll be able to send you out an advanced copy of 9/11 Chronicles Part 1, Truth Rising. Thank you for spending time with us.
Can't wait to see it. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it.
God bless you. Great having you on. Richard Gage, what a great person. Yeah, I mean, it really does disgust me, the little celebrations they have about his wife leaving him over this stuff. And it's not because he believes it's an inside job, she said. It's because she just doesn't like the threats, the calls, she wants her life. Hey, I don't want to deal with this. Well, you don't deal with this, you get Nazi Germany, you get Soviet Russia. Oh, I said something bad about Nazis. I'll have the ADL saying I'm bad now.